Best financial book of all time. That is what people call this book. But is it really worthy of that title? Today, I will go through a short summary of this book in order to explain you of what content this book is. People call this a cornerstone in financial literature. They call it a must read for anyone getting into finance. This book actually goes through the two main perspectives of the people. First of all, how the rich people think, and then how the poor think. Now, I will go through this book step by step, explaining some major points of this book. First of all, how the rich think versus the poor think about work. The poor think that they need to work hard, get a degree, and then work hard in their entire life and then reach the age of 60 and then retire. The rich have a totally different mindset. They want to work smart, not hard. They want to grow capital and then retire early. Investment. The poor think of investment not at all. They think of saving. They save a bit by bit, but inflation is slowly eating down their capital. They don't realize that inflation is compounding by 2%, 4%, 5% every year, and that is eating into their capital. On the other hand, consider it as a ladder. You need to climb on the upper rank slowly and slowly. You need to invest. You need to invest, not save. You need to invest in bonds, you need to invest in stocks, you need to invest in gold, you need to invest in real estate so that you can grow capital over time and then withdraw them when necessary. The poor have a mindset of risk that is working against their favor. They want low risk, low reward. They want to get to a degree and then work hard all their lives. They don't want to take risk. They don't want to risk the capital which isn't theirs, and it will decay over time if they don't do anything with it. Rich, on the other hand, consider risk as a factor which would work in for them. They want to establish businesses which, even if they have high risk, give high reward. For example, what if you start a business? Now you started with a capital of around $10,000. You accumulated it over like a year or so. So now you give it a try, and let's suppose it fails. The next year you do it again fails. But the third year, it might go on. This could happen for the first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year, or the fifth year. But what is guaranteed is that if you work by the principles, then it is sure that you will succeed in your business. The poor don't understand the concept of asset and liability. For example, you buy a house. Is it a asset or a liability? The author of this book says that it is a liability because it is not earning you enough. It might decay over time. If you're buying in America, the house might catch on fire, or it might be ruined by some other thing, some other factor, and the poor consider their liabilities asset, while the rich know how to exactly diversify between a liability and an asset. That puts the difference on the table. Though this book is a great book, there are still some criticisms against this book. First of all, it is a bit too much condensed. It isn't a step to step guide on how to grow a business. It is like a general mindset shift for people. Lastly, I would say that the author has been biased on some aspects. First of all, he considers real estate the best form of money. He considers it real money. Though it is true, but still sometimes real estate can not offer that much return, that much interest on themselves, rather than, for example, stocks which grow around 8% per year, like the S&P 500. or he also criticizes other aspects as well, which aren't meant to be criticized. Like my video, please like, share and subscribe. This is a new channel and we are trying to develop it.